I'm about to ruffle some feathers. You are not going to like this. Oscar de la Hoya drops a bombshell regarding Canelo. Baby, you want baby? I know that. Canelo versus Crawford. The fight, I told you, there's a lot of questionable things going on right now. Y'all didn't want to believe me, but in this video, your boy Ego is going to break it down. Without further ado, roll the clip. So right here, let me get set up. We got Oscar de la Hoya. He did a clapback Thursday, and he said some pretty interesting things regarding Canelo versus Terence Bud Crawford. So let's go.
All right, so it's been a month since my last clapback, and that's because there's very little news to clapback too, because the boxing media isn't reporting on anything these days. I wonder why. Has anybody else noticed this? Well, I actually did some digging and confirmed many members of the boxing media have been paid off by certain people and essentially muzzled. I mean, these are the facts.
I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. Once again, information that comes from my channel, Boxing Ego, from me, Ego, right? You start to hear other people in the industry start saying it. I told you there's a lot of low quality boxing content available, and I've been telling you there is compromised media, right? They're not in it to grow boxing. They have no chance of real success, so they need people to pay them off or give them access to try to be halfway relevant. And now you have De La Hoya who's saying the same exact thing, that the media, a lot of people have been compromised.
For example, 6 of Eddie Reynoso's fighters have tested positive for PEDS. The latest being Jaime Munguia 2 weeks ago. 6 fighters and nobody is questioning this? This doesn't seem suspicious or out of the ordinary to you? We just accept the explanation that everyone is eating tainted meat? Come on, Jesus Christ. Doesn't this warrant an investigation of Eddie's camps? I mean, look, I've known Jaime for over 10 years, and he always tested clean up until his last camp with Eddie and his fight in Riyadh.
Your boy Ego said the same thing. It looks extremely bad. Jaime Munguia went from Eric Morales to different trainers to Freddie Roach to back to Eric Morales. He had like 40-something fights. Never tested positive. He get with Canelo camp, and in the first fight they do together, he tested positive. I told you that would be a bad look. De La Hoya saying the same thing. Church.
How is it ethical that you have 6 fighters testing dirty from the same camp and we don't have questions or consequences? Where's the boxing media? I mean, they crucified Ryan Garcia every fucking day for a full year over a tiny bit of Austrian. So why are they so quiet now? I don't know, man, but when something stinks, it's usually shit. I'm so disappointed, man, in the media, who I've treated like gold for 30 years. I didn't realize you guys could be bought that easily. Now, what the media is reporting, and it's circulating, is that Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's going to do to him? Run him out of the ring.
Ah, I told you I'm the greatest. I told you I'm the best in the business. Bro, De La Hoya, an Olympic gold medalist with an illustrious career. You guys can bring up utensils and fishnet and all that other jive, but in the boxing game, he a legend and he can fight and he got a chin, right? He is saying verbatim what I've been saying. I'm like, bro, Crawford really didn't push back my dream off. Canelo naturally bigger. This is a forced fight. They are reaching. I don't know why this is Turkey's brainchild, why they're pushing this tough and then trying to make it like it's the greatest fight ever. A greatest super fight would not be a fight that is such a reach where it shouldn't even really be happening. Let's go, Oscar.
You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space. Has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate shit. And is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter. He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this. The fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network.
Hey, get these dudes out of boxing. What are you talking about? What do you mean? This man, y'all better hope Oscar De La Hoya is lying. If this is true and your boy Ego find out, oh my gosh, I am going to make so much content and you are not going to like. I told you I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this one. Bro, he said that the fight with Canelo and Crawford is going to take place in the daytime. The daytime. So first they said it was a Friday, so it would avoid UFC altogether if you did it on a Friday. Then a week later, they said, hey, psych, it's really not on a Friday. We're going to put the fight on Saturday. Then weeks passed. Your boy Ego was like, what's good? Like, where's the fight? I thought it was all said and done, Allegiant Stadium. Then they announced the fight with the flyer. They said Dana White was on, then he was off, and Sella was going to do the promotion. Now they said Dana White's back. Oscar's ripping him, saying, like, how you deserve this? You ain't covered no boxing. You ain't done no promotion. You have no stable. Why you a trust fund, baby? Why you get to be the lead promoter of a fight, you know, a bigger fight? And he said, furthermore, it's going to be in the daytime to accommodate UFC. Why? If you just said the fight was the greatest in boxing history, the last 10, 15 years or whatever you're talking about, your selling point, why would it take a backseat to UFC Noche? UFC has been down. Let's be real. UFC has not been that interesting. And I'm a boxing head, but I don't hate UFC. You know, I watch some of the stuff. I watched Sean O'Malley, Merab, the rematch. I watched I would say the bigger fights. But why if your fight is so big, it doesn't do a good job of conveying that if you're prioritizing UFC. So Dana White, I told you he can't be in two places at once. So I guess this is how they make it work, is put Canelo and Crawford in the daytime. Bro, you are spitting in the faces of diehard boxing fans. I don't really even care about the fight. De La Hoya, I do believe he makes a strong case. Do believe. Like, don't sound like he really care about the fight. However, there are maybe some boxing fans who do care about the fight. But guess what? Those fans, particularly in America, that do care about the fight, how are they going to watch it if it's in the daytime when most Americans to support, like, look at the times we're living in. You got what's happening in LA with ICE. You got grocery store and gas prices are extremely high to buy simple things, simple ingredients. Rents are increasing. right? So in here, the West Coast is expensive. And I would venture to say throughout the world, or at least in America, there's been inflation/recession, right? And people have jobs. That's what I'm getting at. People have jobs. People have to go to work. What are you doing? You're putting the fight in the daytime, and people may not be able to watch it if they are at work. You could be a banker, depending on what time this fight comes on. You could be a banker and still potentially miss it if you work, like a 10 to 7, 9 to 6 type of, because some people have to commute to work. So you have to attach that to after, and you don't just like run home from work and, take your badge off and whatever, and then immediately want to start watching boxing. You want to settle in, maybe get a bite to eat, get some gas, whatever, pick up your kids, whatever you got to do. Man.
Boxing. And get this, the fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a fuck about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC with a roster of names I've never heard of is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh, and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing.
Bro, Oscar is cooking y'all. He is saying he's saying exactly what I've been saying. So I've been cooking y'all. Now he's saying what I'm saying. So he cooking y'all. Bro, Cinco de Mayo, he fought in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, an Islamic country where they don't even celebrate Cinco de Mayo or Mexican holidays or whatever, Mexican dates. So the Skull fight was trash. And as a fight, it was trash, right? It didn't have no atmosphere, all that, right? Undercard, nah. Now he's fighting on Mexican Independence Day weekend, the second week of September, for Mexican pride. But then you put him on the daytime and you put him with Crawford, who doesn't. He's a great fighter, but he don't have a big brand, which is what I've been telling you. They think this is a like Mayweather Canelo style fight. Crawford is not known outside of boxing circles the same way. Even the UFC, to prove it, when he went to a UFC event after a Canelo fight, they put a lower third and it said Kendrick Lamar. They literally didn't know who he was. If that was Will Smith, oh man, now that's how you're supposed to drive, right? If it was my boy Will, I highly doubt that the UFC truck that is responsible for the credits and lower thirds would misidentify Will Smith, somebody as big as that, or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It just so happens Crawford wasn't as recognizable. This is a mess, man. But I'm gonna let Oscar keep cooking.
Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere, anytime he's told, because he doesn't give a fuck. All he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fuck about the fans, about tradition, the Mexican weekend tradition. Oh, and Dana, what, now you're turning your back on the UFC? I mean, we all know you've been trying to get into boxing for years on your own and you couldn't do it. Remember Zuffa? Oh, but now that Daddy Turkey negotiated a big fight and he paid for it, you're seriously proud to be the trust fund kid presenting to be the face of this fight. I mean, this whole thing's a shit show. Aren't you embarrassed? I mean, it would be just like me promoting John Jones versus somebody else in the UFC. You guys would fucking destroy me for me walking into another sport and acting like I know the fuck I'm doing. I mean, insiders are aware the UFC's hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. and in a bad spot. But that's no reason to switch sports and leave these MMA fighters hanging, Dana. And don't abandon the fans. They've been begging you for months now to make a great fight in the UFC. Oh, and don't even think of bringing your pathetic pay scale to boxing, because these fighters won't go for it. The boxing media is trying so hard to hype up TKO, getting into the boxing space. But the truth is, they have no fucking fighters. They have 0 fighters. TKO? More like TK no. Oh, and guess what? Nobody will ever put a muzzle on me. I'll always give you the facts and keep it real. And I've never been happier to trade calls with Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, because guess what? We ain't going anywhere. All right.
I said, double up, De La Hoya was feeding, bro. De La Hoya was feeding y'all. Y'all look crazy. Oh my gosh, De La Hoya was cooking. Listen, I ain't got much else to say other than I'm really him. I'm Timothy Chalamet. Everything I said been accurate. Dana White, I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy. I don't know him, but you don't know boxing. The day of the announcement, he tagged the wrong Crawford. It's on my Instagram, right? He tagged Canelo with the right handle, but then he tried to tag Crawford. And then when he tagged Crawford, he tagged some fitness trainer that wasn't even Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? So I don't see how this is going to work. You know what I mean? And then now y'all better hope, y'all better pray that he lying about the fight taking place in the daytime. I am roasting. If this fight is on in the daytime, I'm roasting. Luda. I am going to roast the socks off of you. If Canelo, I don't care about no Netflix or whatever. Bro, who watches Netflix on Mexican Independence Day weekend in the daytime? Like, bro, what are we talking about? They treating this like it's a soap opera, telenovela, like this is General Hospital, The Young and the Restless. Bro, y'all better hope they didn't put this fight in a soap opera time slot. I'm on you. Oh my